For better or for worse. I always say it's like I play whatever I want to play.
Episode 2 with Neal Chim's help and presence. Artist, musician, educator, born and raised in Hawaii, Maui. I met him through a mutual friend here in Seattle called Marco, also a musician. I randomly reached him out for help and press play literally for this initial project. And honestly, it turned into a perfect reason to realize that everything I was facing in this creative mode, it was being understood by another artist. This episode was born from a real moment, a bit of resistance, shocks of perfectionism, a moment of wearing so many hats at once, a bit distracted with fun and desperation, all in my head of course, but it came together exactly as the title says, artist to artist through the chaos, and sounds like art and creativity brought us together.
In essence, I feel like art is a manifestation of that feeling, and I think in its highest form, having an individual has the ability to communicate that.
Here we talk mostly about moments of doubt and a reflection about what does really mean art to us, and how we keep following the heart and stay connected to who we really are and where we come from, even when things get harder or chaotic. I'm Fernanda Bruno, and this is the very first episode of Stories to Feel Alive podcast and videocast. Enjoy. Hey Neal, thank you from behind the scenes to here.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking?
What's that?
That's our first time getting to know each other. So if you want to just tell me a little bit, like where do you come from and name and everything that makes you as you are,
Jeez, what a question. I mean,
Jeez, Jesus around us.
So yeah, I'm Neal Chin, and been originally from the island of Maui, and been living here in Seattle now for about 10 years now. And just a ukulele launch, I swear, whatever.
No, come on, whatever. It's a big deal. What the hell? Ukulele is your soul.
Yeah, I mean, truly, it's like, ever since I was a kid, it's just kind of been like my whole identity and personality, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been, I should say, do a lot of teaching, and that's kind of like a big part of my life. I come from a family of educators. So,
oh, I see.
Yeah. It just kind of just made sense to just pick up the family baton almost to continue teaching, but just in music. Both my parents have been in arts education of some sort. My dad at the college or the university on Maui, and my mom being an arts integration coordinator for most of her life. Yeah, it's just kind of just been, anyway, all to say, it's just I've been around art like my whole life, and it's just one of those things that I just just love doing and being around. And I guess just to answer your question, the reason why I say that is it's probably the biggest cornerstone in my life is just the concept of art, if that makes sense. It's like yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. How was that looks like over there in Hawaii for you, and making that transition from the place you come from to here to Seattle?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like the perception of art is just different, or the value of art is different, and the type of art, which, for better or for worse, I think it's just more of a characteristic kind of thing. But growing up, I watched my dad enter shows and things of that sort all the time, and do installations and things. And it was a really kind of neat on Maui. It seemed like at least a really tight knit community of artists and musicians and dancers and things of that, actors and so that sort. So, yeah, I guess it's kind of family like, And up here, I guess the difference is, and maybe it's just in my own experience, but there is a lot of that same kind of feeling, of kind of a close connectivity, at least that I found with like Marco and a lot of the other musicians and whatnot.
Right.
But one thing that I have really enjoyed is the variety of perspective
Over here.
here. Yeah. And again, I think it's just probably from just growing up on Maui and, just kind of seeing
Yeah,
that,
I get it.
you know what I
get
mean?
it.
But,
yeah. That's I can relate it to that a little bit
Yeah.
because I mean, of course, I moved from not from Hawaii to Seattle.
Yeah.
It's come from a new country, like I never been Hawaii, but I have this feeling that if I sooner I will feel at home. It feels like the variety of things that I see outside of the place that I come from, it's just like massive after pretty much 10 years.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, dude, I can connect easily, like instantly with Polynesian culture too.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it makes sense. I feel like we don't call Amazon the island, but I feel it's an island in Brazil. Like it's that's how we grow up with like those small like way of living together. You don't have to be in the jungle to understand community or tribes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like the way you say like about your family and doing everything together.
I really do think that the climate, so to say, affects the way that people interact with each other.
Oh yeah, for real.
And like developing personalities too.
Definitely. I can see that. That's what I'm saying. Like, remember the first time I know I think I didn't share with you, but the first time I saw you playing with Marco and you're playing your ukulele. Also, after watching your videos from here, I was like, holy shit, you were so sunny. Where do you come from? There is a sensibility of what you do related to where you come from and makes so much sense. For me, at least, observing, I was like, yeah, there we go. Like we have some sunny vibes in the winter days, which is okay, which is good, but you put all over your music. How do you feel that? Like when you play, do you feel like you are connecting with you, like where you come from, you connected to yourself, even around musicians,
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd like to believe so. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of I try to bring that as a consistent thing in all the art that I create. Like it's just something that I believe in the sense of, we're all trying our best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
Much love. I appreciate that. That's
for real.
Thank you.
Yeah, you transferred that, the vibe, the passion, the island. I don't know,
Sure.
Yeah, that's cool. But when you come back to the city from your family, all these things, and you come back to play or to create, how that feels in your craft. Do you take that as it's one of your advantage to move on your music?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that I think is kind of nice that I that I've come to understand that I need for my art form is just a sense of being uncomfortable is important to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but
definitely.
Like especially with music, I think probably 90% of what I do is all improvised music. So like, when we get to the gig, with Marco and stuff too, we have a repertoire and, song lists and things of that sort that we go through. I know we're going to do, but like effectively how you're going to play it is all in mystery. You know what I mean? Until you're actually doing it, and then you just have to do it. And that's where, coming back to what you're talking about earlier, I always joke around because it's like, hey, I ain't a smart guy. You know what I mean? Like I need all the mental power I need to like just play this instrument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just quiet everything out. Because the moment I start thinking about lunch or like, hey, look at this or look at this or whatever, then it just sounds.
Yeah.
I think to me, I can hear a visceral difference in the sound.
So then what do you come? So your improvisation come from the way of you feel or you living or with that, how that pops up like for you?
Yeah. It's
besides the technical way studies and everything that we got to go through, but how, what's the cherry,
Yeah. For better or for worse, I always say it's like, I play whatever I want to play.
Oh,
and it, because in some situations, as you probably can imagine, it's not super great.
Yeah.
If you're with people and they're like, hey, we need this or this or this, and of course I can accommodate and do that, of course.
Yeah.
But if it's my choice, to put myself in a situation musically, it's to be in that kind of uncomfortable place to just literally be like, it sounds kind of to me it sounds profound almost, but it's like
You gotta be profound.
You just-
Don't be like that. Shut up.
You know what I mean?
Hey, it's okay. It's safe.
it just sounds like they're just melodies or just sounds in your head. Like it sounds so plain, I guess, in that sense. But it's like, yeah, you just hear, oh, I want to play da, 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 or something like that here. You know?
But that says a lot about like you're so in tune with yourself, because if you notice that, I don't think that's easy to be permissive. Improvisation is a kind of a permissive. If you permit to take a risk to see what that goes, where it goes, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, I take that as for me as my craft and my videos. It's mostly on that. Like when I let it go, it goes.
Yep.
It just happened. And you don't know how it did it, but it did happen. It just like I feel here it's happening, but it sometimes there's some bunch of blocks, you know, like you gotta remove. No. It freaks me out, honestly. Being static, it freaks me out. It just because I know in general because it makes me feel like I'm not giving a chance to receive. I'm not giving a chance for what it is, you know, and that's it doesn't make the next move as a magic or something that you never expected. So that goes for craft for me. Or anything, anything. You just keep moving. You gotta keep moving.
Sure.
You know, of course, you need sense of directions, but you're never gonna know if you don't keep moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think improvisation gives him that vibe.
Yeah.
Like you said something.
Totally. You know, and gosh, there's a lot of things there.
Yeah, I know. It's sorry.
That's really
I got
great.
I was like,
great.
ooh.
That's great. Sometimes just as a quick metaphor, I always think about it as like, you know, you're trying to get from one place of town to the other place of town, right? And especially like in a sprawling city, there's more than one route, way more than one route.
Definitely,
and if you want to get weird about it, you can get weird about it, right? You can go like, oh, I'm going to take the thing and go roundabout or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's how I think about it too. You know, it's just like, however. And
the destination is the same, the routes change, right? Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of what we were talking about earlier. I appreciated that sentiment and kind of like what you're saying of just like, you know, I think in that metaphor block, that I think happens to certain people, depending on your personality and temperament, is that when you get, you focus on just getting to the destination.
Yeah.
Right? You end up focusing on things like that instead of being present.
Yeah.
And observing the ride or observing how you're moving through it. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like 45-minute drive is the thing, not the destination.
Yeah.
You know, to a certain degree, at least, you know.
Yeah, makes sense. So
you can be present.
Yeah, you don't lose much.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the destination is very excited.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, I feel like it's just part of the route, because for me, it feels like with creativity and everything that goes in my life, like moving to a new country, being in new cities, having different ways of understanding life.
Yeah.
It makes sense that I never had a destination, just had process, because the destination is just a big part of yourself to keep going, you know, like, I don't know if you feel like when you make music, that's how you say make music?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it the right say?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Don't you can correct me, please. Is that make it or create it? I don't know.
I think either one.
Yeah, you can tell me the better way you do. How you use it? You make music? Or
I make music. Actually, I would say I make music.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Sure. I don't think like one music or one melody, it's your destination. I mean, it's one of the big steps to move forward. Like, it never ends, but it's not in a bad way, because you're never the same, you know? You probably never the same after one another, you know? I think it's just about us, the relationship between us and the process and the destination. You know, to not put it that as a static thing that to
honestly that 100% makes sense to me.
Do it make sense to you?
Yeah. On how I perceive and work through art, you know, like I always joke around. I forget who said it. Like, there's like two kinds of people. You know what I mean? It's like when you look at the unknown, when you stand at the front of the unknown, you know, that it's either one, it's terrifying, or it's two, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like I love the second one, you know, or trying to embody that spirit. It's not that I don't get a lot of anxiety and fear. You know, I mean, I have a lot of projects that I'm doing this year, for example, and I'm just like kind of at this stage now where I'm just like, I don't know if it's going to actually work or
How do you do that?
things of that
How do you, what do you cope that? How do you cope those moments of uncertainty, even though you know we've been through that before? Like, how do you cope that? Like, as
the honest
As
two
you go.
things is, I mean, the first one is play music. Honest to goodness, like that is, you know, playing with Marco this past Saturday. Just I was having a pretty rough week of just like going through stuff, and just
playing.
an hour and a half felt like just took all of the dust off of my shoulders, and it just felt, you know, like a human being again instead of like a machine, you know, or a, you know, a cog or something like that. And then number two, I'd say, which I think is, it's honestly, it's interwoven in the whole thing, but it's meditation.
Oh,
it's
nice.
So true. I mean, like I circle back on it. I fight myself, and where I'm like, no, or da da da. You know, you got so many things to do. Why am I gonna sit here and stare at the wall or whatever? You know. But I tell you, I mean, yeah,
Wow,
that's one thing that
that's
I preach.
cool.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, just having, you know, it's crazy. Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of collection, and just kind of slowing your thoughts in that sense, at least for me, has been really helpful because I just have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah,
just
same.
like roll.
Yeah, same.
So it's just like I need to just get off the wheel,
Yeah.
almost, and then just reset, and then
Same. I do pretty much every day before going to bed because that's the only way I probably can be able to sleep.
yeah, sure.
I knew that was something else. I knew it was something else. Yeah, which it gives a sense of everything I see on your playing. I mean, of course I don't. Behind the scenes is so personal, right? It's so like intimated with whatever we do.
Yeah.
That I really appreciate you sharing everything you just shared. You know, like to be part of this, and for the ones that wants to know you more or like find you or see like what are you gonna play this month or next month, what's your resource? Where do people should go to see more about?
Yeah, just my website.
The website?
Nealchin.com. Actually, yeah, I just updated it last night, so it'll
Cool.
it's like,
ongoing. Yeah.
You did a
Good job.
Sometimes I tell you that part of the job is,
Yeah, you deserve a
I
hug.
don't know why.
That,
It
yes,
takes so
I
much
get it.
energy and time. Can play for hours and hours and hours, but writing out
Oh, tell me about
3
it.
sentences for a
Yes.
thing, or you know. So anyway, but yeah, just
Yeah.
Nealchin, NEALCHIN.com.
Yeah.
Has all my information and album stuff.
Cool.
You know, contact the nonprofits that I work for and all that stuff.
Do you have anything new that you haven't done yet that you don't have to come up right now, but is there anything that you want to like popped up this year about your music?
I mean, kind of circling back to our earlier conversation. I mean, I've just kind of been playing around with being open to other forms of creativity.
Right.
So for example, I haven't released the album since 2017, you know?
Okay.
And like, I've gone through some projects and things of that sort, like did something and kind of was like, and then threw it away or whatever. But the thing that I'm trying to do this year is, well, I'm going to do this year, I'm doing this year, is releasing an album and doing all the artwork, all the mixing, all the mastering. I'm just going to do all of it myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And
that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of taken. Right.
I mean, that's cool. That's brave moves, like making things like the long projects and kind of taking care of the production, the filming, whatever the recording.
Promotion and all.
Promotional. It's just so much, but it's so like gives a sense of gratitude too. Like when you see it ready to, you know, like, wow, that's no matter what comes, what is going to be unfold from this, it's just there.
A good feeling.
It is.
A liveliness, like a vitality.
Definitely alive.
And then it just brings it into all the other aspects of your life, you know? Which I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but like that's what I feel like is the whole point of art.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
So like feel alive in a way that sometimes the day-to-day, you know, so to say, things that we go through cannot doesn't embody, or helps us remember all these ineffable things, or
Yeah.
so
Well, definitely agree with that. Yeah, a sense of aliveness. It takes places that you don't know you had it.
right,
You know,
yeah,
it's a big challenge. It's an inner challenge.
yeah,
Maybe it's not very exposed, very like seen by uh, external
yeah,
watchers, right? Like
right,
audience.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
but it is something that comes deeply from somewhere, and
totally,
then not everybody says where, but it's a big deal. It's art. I think it's not new, it's just becoming new because we need now. Because I had that conversation with so many people about like
yeah,
the ways of seeing art as a healing way,
yeah, hmm,
but it's not to heal people, but we transform ourselves. Every creativity kind of feel like we transform ourselves, like
totally.
right.
I mean,
In a
yes,
good
yeah.
way, in a good way.
Yeah, and I know, kind of just to add on to that, like one thing that I don't know, at least for me, for better or for worse, I think is one of my beliefs is I believe that art is for everybody. Like everybody should, not should. Yeah, should is a strong word.
Yeah, it should.
But yeah, should
No, you should.
interact with art.
Yeah.
in
Just
some-
incentive, like
you
you
know?
should.
because most people do,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just like it's just consciously and with intent,
Yeah.
interacting with it, and making it, I think, is the whole thing,
Yeah.
and like that's where a lot of my, part of, I think, one of the reasons why that, maybe I haven't even recorded in the past, handful of years now, is I've been so much focused. That was actually kind of a big shift for me, was like thinking about art, like, okay, what is your art? Is it the recordings that you make? Is it the music that you play? And it's like, yes, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But interacting with people
Yeah.
and being a teacher and cultivating, learning for people, I think is in a particular way, in a
Yes.
particular way of trying to convey an openness, a curiosity, like still trying to
Yeah.
have fun with the medium,
Yeah.
so that people are present, again, to come back, maybe the theme of our
Yeah.
conversation, but to come back to it, to be
Yeah.
present.
Yeah, it is present. It is something you can't describe, but you know the sense of presence. You just there to add, to collab, to contribute. Like there's a contribution of like all this from everywhere, from everybody, but there's no like a big deal of it. Make that something extraordinary to be extraordinary. You don't have to be big to be extraordinary.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
it gotta just be real, And I think sometimes people has a misconception of art because the way it's been seen as a market, and also like neglection, because could be just a paper, a painting, a canvas, a music, a photo. But art, it's pretty much more than that, right? I
Yeah.
think it is a feeling. I think if I would say it is a feeling for me, art like became a feeling. But for you, what would be for you? Break down a little bit the misconception of canvas, painting, drawing, photo. This is art. Yes, it is it is a types of arts, But for you, what would it be like?
That's a big question. That's great. That's great.
No,
I
it's
love
too
that.
big.
No, I like it. I just have to think about that for a second. That's a really good one. I think it's a feeling too, because I think at the end of the day, I think that's what it is. And but the thing that I really want, an idea that's really intoxicating to me, is this idea is always in balance. I love the concept of balance.
Yeah.
So it's like, any given time, especially, as a mental exercise, if I feel something strongly in one way, I try to just, whatever it is, feel the other side too. So in essence, I feel like art is a manifestation of that feeling, and I think in its highest form, having an individual who's has the ability to communicate that feeling.
Right.
No,
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I can see that. Manifestation is a good way to put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so however we do that, however we get there, in a healthy, safe, productive manner.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do what you need to do. But like, I think if that is the cornerstone, if that's the thing, then that belongs to everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to sit because I think that is, I don't know.
I know
get
where you come from.
mad about this almost, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Go ahead.
It's
I
something-
see that.
You know what the other one is, the one that drives me nuts too?
Yeah, yeah, what
It's
is
the concept of high art.
Yeah.
When people talk about high art versus low art, you know?
Oh, that's so sad.
It's like if you're not if you're not an oil painting or whatever, this is not a, real life thing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just take a broad stroke. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it is.
Look at visual art in the history of visual art. It just doesn't make sense. That doesn't. It's just not. Yeah. And any given time that I feel like that does happen, right? That's where it goes to die.
Yeah. It is like exactly like art is alive. It doesn't die. What would you leave out here for us about for someone that haven't found yet this truly connection with something or with someone or with some activities? What would you tell from your or be a personal experience? You tell someone that haven't found yet that or afraid of connect to something that take them out of a way, something unknown.
Yeah.
I think we get sometimes intimidated by the unknown most of the time, I guess,
It's
right?
fair,
Yeah. So what would you say for the ones that are still marinated, like when it come out with cooking?
I'd say two things.
Okay.
Number one is I feel like, so to tack on to the maybe definition of art, to like think about it as sharing your perspective and sharing your viewpoint. I feel like if that's element is part of it too, let's just say, then your perspective is already valid. Like what you're doing is immediately already valid with that idea, So because of that, what I would say is, yeah, I mean, truly, this is what I believe is like, don't be afraid. Don't be scared of it. Because the world is a terrifying, crazy place with lots of terrifying, crazy things in it,
Yeah.
But, as an artist, I don't know, at least for my taste of artists, I have so much admiration and appreciation for a fearlessness in your craft. And I'm not saying to push away your fear, because you can only be brave if you're scared.
Yeah,
it doesn't make
exactly,
sense if you're not, you know what I mean?
Use the fear in
just
favor,
doing
right?
the thing. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, especially for those who are trying to find their identity, to that effect, to tack on to that is the learning is in the doing. So don't wait. Don't wait to do things. Go.